it's me, Kevin, just here to give my recap video from my New Zealand trip that I just got back from, and I was gone for 6 weeks. I did tell you in my previous video from well over a month ago that I would not be making any videos, stuff like that, just simply because the Wi-Fi, the internet in New Zealand is seriously like 3 steps down from what we have in Canada. Surprisingly, we're in the far north, and you'd think that we would have worse, though we have better, but we pay a lot more than they do. So, and the internet is not good, and it simply wouldn't have been worth it because I would be spending a lot of money just to upload videos and stuff like that. So I chose to wait until I get back. I do have lots of photos and videos to show off. I'll be posting them to my Google account in the next couple of weeks. I'm just going. I have so many. Like I literally have 1,000 pictures plus. So it may take some time because I'm not gonna post them all at once. Try to get half those pictures because it'll just take a long time to upload. So it's like bit by bit, so maybe 30 or 40. Pictures per upload or something like that. So yeah, New Zealand, I think for anybody who has not traveled a lot, like I have not traveled a lot, I've only been, like I said, the US and Cuba. It is the best country to go to if it's really one of your first or second experiences traveling, because it's simply one of the safest and most safest and very, you feel very secure being in New Zealand. Like I never had any problems there, and people are very nice. They're similar to Canadians in a way, in a big way, because they're very nice. You can ask anybody on the street, and you could ask them really any random question, and they'll point you in the right direction, which is like kind of a Canadian trait because we're very nice, and yeah, that kind of thing. So. Pardon that, sorry, but since being there, when I first flew into Auckland, I had a lot of jet lag. It was about 4 in the morning. I got to my hotel room. Also, I want to add on, if you ever go to New Zealand, do not take the fucking taxi. Do not. You'll get charged $100 for a 15-minute drive. It's fucking ridiculous. I was such a moron to do that. And I knew that they had other couriers. They'll take you there for a quarter of the price. It's ridiculous. Those fucking taxis can go to hell. No offense. It's just giving my own opinion on that because I really wasn't happy with that, having to pay that much at the time. I didn't look like I was pissed off because I was happy to be in New Zealand, but getting that first bill when I'm trying to save money, that really killed that day the budget. So yeah. But being in Auckland, it was really nice. I know I got in there at 4 o'clock. I went to bed for about 3 or 4 hours. Got up, walked to the Kiwi office, which was about a 20-minute walk. Got there and talked to the Kiwi people. They're really nice, very courteous. You can ask them anything, and they gave me all my vouchers. They gave me all the information. I got on the bus the next morning, so I had the rest of the day to chill out. Where I did walk down streets where there were palm trees. It was really beautiful, nice. Though they do drive on the opposite side of the road, which still felt weird for me. So I know when I first got in the taxi, I went on the side, which originally in Canada it would have been the passenger side, but it was the driver's side. So it was kind of a joke from the taxi driver. It said, "Oh, you can drive the taxi to your hotel room." I said, "Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, the opposite sides." So yeah. But yeah, after that, I just kind of chilled for the day. I went to the docks. I got pictures in the docks. It was quite nice. It was comfortable 23, 24 degrees. You could comfortably wear a sweater and you wouldn't be cooking. So, and then just being down there, it's really, it's different, but it's not, because it felt like Vancouver even a little bit. But that all goes down the drain when you walk into an English cafe or a pub. And everything looks so woody. Like if you don't know what I'm talking about, everything looks like everything's made of wood. It's always a wood. It's nothing else. A very unique English pub or a cafe, they look very woody like, which something we don't have here in Canada. So that's why I use the word woody, or very. They use a lot of wood construction in their, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, I'm sure when you ever see an English cafe or pub, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even an Irish pub, you'll find the same thing where you walk in there and it looks like a log cabin kind of thing. It looks like stuff like that. So I had my first cappuccino. I have to admit, their coffee and cappuccino are like a million times better than Canadian Tim Hortons. I'm sorry, Timmy's, but Timmy's, fuck. That English coffee kicks your ass. Because though it takes maybe an extra minute or so to make it, it's a lot better than the stuff that you give us. I'm sorry, Timmy's. Like, I have your cappuccinos and I get sick. I just get sick of hell. Because your French vanilla especially. Sorry, I know I'm getting totally off base a little bit. I have to say it. Your French vanillas liquefy everything in my stomach, which means I get, I get a little bit of indigestion. But when I went down there, I could easily eat something and then have a nice, cappuccino, English cappuccino, and it wouldn't do that, which is so awesome because I had a lot of cappuccinos down there and not once did I get sick. So and they use those really cool Italian coffee machines, like they really, the expensive ones. Anywhere you go, you'll never see stuff like what Tim Hortons use or instant coffee. Really cheap filter machines and stuff like that. You'll never find that down there. Everywhere you go, every time the Kiwi Experience or the bus stop somewhere, they always have a cafe, and you can get a cappuccino and it tastes really good. Though I would recommend putting 3 sugars or 3 cane sugar or raw sugars into your coffee and stirring it. Sometimes it can be kind of strong, but I will just say that because the coffees are just awesome down there. And then what else? Before we talk about the Kiwi Experience, getting on the bus and all that, it was the cappuccino, and then it was the pizza. The pizzas down there are awesome. They're like dough pizza, like they cook, the oven cooked them, and you get them, and you can squish the ends a little bit. It's much better pizza than we make. I got no offense. You'll never find thick pizza down there. Like, we have thick pizza, but that's why it's very fattening. It's not good for you. But when you go down there and you try their pizza, it's really it's really high quality pizza. Like, I always knew what high quality was and what shit was, because it's shit pizza is always the pizza they make that's really thick, and that's all they can do. But down there, it's all about the details. It's all about the texture, the taste. It's it's really good down there. So two big things. I got several things. Other things to talk about. They're great, but cappuccinos and the pizzas are just simply a few of the greatest things that we don't have here in Canada. So yeah. Now getting on a Kiwi Experience bus. I was really nervous. First time ever getting on a bus. First time ever doing that kind of thing. So I tried to be there as early as I can. The bus stop I was getting picked up at was just across the street. So I check out. I got across there. I started talking to this guy from the UK. His name was Rob. Really cool guy. Believe it or not, I hang with this guy all the way down the island. It was until we got to Wellington that we kind of separated. But I did re-meet with him and a few others I met along the way in Queenstown. But getting on the bus initially in Auckland, they'll take you there. If you have the whole kit and caboodle, which is a package you get, which will take you to everything, plus get you some of the vouchers for the vouchers. Basically, the vouchers are you're prepaying for stuff ahead of time, so you don't have to pay it there. If you don't do the event or activity, then you'll get reimbursed the money that you prepaid. So, but anyways, from Auckland, they'll take you up to the Bay of Islands. Simply to say, it's absolutely gorgeous. You go to Pai here. You'll stay at a hostel in Pai here, where it is this gorgeous beach. Is there like a resort town? Yeah, maybe not majorly resort, but it's just a very beautiful scenery. And I know it was me, Rob, and a few others that I met along the way that we ended up going on a boat ride. We went to several different islands, and we went through this cool tunnel, which was kind of a cave tunnel in the middle of the ocean kind of thing. It was really cool. Pardon that. But yeah, we did that, and then we saw some fur seals along the way. It was really something different for me personally. Like it really was something that it was like exploratory. Like, no offense to saying where I live, but I knew everything about where I lived and all that, and that's not really the greatest thing, because your mind always wants to explore, and that's what that experience was. When you go to New Zealand, you go on the Kiwi Experience, you go to all these different locations, and you're learning new stuff, you're meeting new people, which is a great experience. We stayed in Pai here for one night. I think it was one night, and we left the next day. But I know that first night we did kind of pre-hit the bar a little bit. Though the bars in New Zealand are, unless you have the pound sterling or the euro or possibly the US dollar, if you have one of those three currencies, then I think it won't be nearly as bad when it comes to it. But the Canadian dollar, the pricing of alcohol is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I understand some stuff they have to import, but it's no, I really wasn't happy. I'll get to that later, but that's one thing that's kind of a con in New Zealand is the alcohol. But yeah, we went on the boat ride. We stopped off at this one island that kind of looked like it could have been Hobbiton. It could have been somewhere where hobbits live because it had the rolling hills. It had the really nice trees. It looked like that. You'll see pictures of that once I get them up, of the island and the boat and the people that I stayed with. Which, you know, I was with Rob. I met a friend from Scotland. Which, you know, offense, I love people from Scotland because I love their accent. They've always got kind of like their charisma. That where they really, no offense to saying, I'm not being rude to the Scottish, but I was fine. People from Scotland really don't like taking shit from anybody, and they're very tough. They're very noble, kind of thing. So I'm totally just giving a compliment. So I'm not trying to be rude or nothing like that. But we met, I think it was Rob, Greg, and then another friend from James. I'll get to James later. And Ellie, who was again from the UK. She was only there for 6 days, and then she was gonna go off to Australia. So we weren't with her long, but yeah, that was really cool. I hanged with them for all the way up to the Bay of Islands. The next day after leaving Pai here, we got back on the bus, and then we basically. Oh, I have to say we went kayaking in Pai here, where I got sunburned. But I have such a good story to tell you guys. I have so many stories, so I might have several parts to tell you guys. But yeah, well, we went kayaking. It was very beautiful, nice. Got sunburn. It was really. I have pictures and videos of that too. After leaving Pai here, we went to the farther up, the very points of the Bay of Islands. We go sand surfing, which literally to say, when you go sand surfing, the bus that you're on will go right onto the beach and drive for probably maybe 45 minutes, and then they stop in this one area where there's huge sand dunes. On one side, you can't even see the top, and then on the other side, it looks like rainforest. It freaking looks like Africa. I have videos of this too. I went sand surfing, and I got the GoPro, some GoPro footage to show you guys to post. So yeah, it was that experience alone was one of the best ever. Like, your girl was saying, it's like, oh, I want to get wet because it was kind of raining that day. It's like, who gives a shit? You know, when's the next time you're gonna ever get the chance to do this? It's like, just do it. Yes, you're going to be wet, but guess what? Later, you're going to have a dryer, and you'll be fine. And so, yeah, I ended up doing it, and it was so much fun. We also went to another scenic area where it looks like Lord of the Rings. It literally does. It's so majestically great, nature-wise. I have photos of that place, too. It was the Cape of Regina's. I almost think it's Regina or something like that. The Cape of Regina. But we went there, hanged with a friend from Germany that I met. I still talk to her. She's awesome. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. I actually, tell you the truth, we're getting close to 15 minutes. So I'll make a part 2 video in another day, upload this one, and hopefully you enjoyed this part 1 video. Peace out, guys.